Life often brings us challenges that can leave us feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or uncertain. But what if we could approach life with calmness and positivity, no matter what it throws our way? The truth is, it's not about avoiding difficulties. It's about learning how to respond to them in a way that preserves our peace and well-being. The first step in staying calm and positive is self-awareness. How often do we react without really understanding why? When we pause to reflect on our emotions, we start to recognize patterns. What triggers our stress? What makes us anxious? By identifying these triggers, we can take control of our reactions instead of letting our emotions dictate our responses. Remember, the power lies in how we choose to react. Another vital tool is mindfulness. So much of our stress comes from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. We forget that the only moment we truly have is the one we are living in right now. Practice focusing on the present, whether it's through deep breathing, meditative exercises, or simply being fully engaged in whatever you're doing. The present is where peace exists. When we give ourselves permission to be fully here, we reduce unnecessary stress. In every situation, there's an opportunity to practice positive reframing. It's easy to see challenges as obstacles, as things that stand in our way. But I want to encourage you to shift your thinking. See challenges as stepping stones, opportunities to learn, grow, and evolve. When you begin to view difficulties through a lens of growth rather than fear, your outlook on life shifts dramatically. Then there's self-care. We can't pour from an empty cup. To stay calm and positive, we must first nurture ourselves, mind, body, and soul. Take the time to rest, exercise, nourish your body with good food, and engage in activities that rejuvenate you. When we care for ourselves, we build resilience to handle life's ups and downs with grace. Practice gratitude. When life feels heavy, focus on what you're grateful for. This simple practice can change your mindset in an instant. Take a moment each day to list the blessings in your life, no matter how small. Gratitude shifts your perspective from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life, and this shift will keep you grounded and positive, assured that whatever may happen, all will be for the best. Staying calm and positive isn't something that happens overnight. It's a practice, a way of being. So I challenge you today. Embrace self-awareness, mindfulness, positive reframing, self-care, and gratitude. These are the tools that will help you navigate life with a sense of calm and a heart full of positivity. Self-awareness is one of the most powerful tools you can cultivate to stay calm and positive in life. It is the practice of tuning into your thoughts, feelings, and reactions in real time, helping you understand why you feel the way you do and how your emotions influence your actions. When you develop self-awareness, you gain the ability to make conscious choices about how you respond to life's challenges, rather than reacting impulsively or being swept away by external circumstances. Imagine waking up in the morning with a sense of peace, not because everything in your life is perfect, but because you understand yourself and your emotional triggers well enough to handle whatever comes your way. You don't feel controlled by stress or anxiety because you've learned to observe your thoughts and emotions from a distance. This ability to observe without immediately reacting is a cornerstone of self-awareness. To begin cultivating self-awareness, the first step is to be present with your feelings. How many times have we gone through our day on autopilot, not truly noticing how we feel? We may be busy, moving from one task to the next, but our inner state might be completely neglected. We might feel stressed, anxious, or frustrated, but these feelings can go unnoticed if we're not paying attention. This lack of awareness can build up over time, leading to emotional burnout or even physical health issues. Taking a moment to pause and check in with yourself is essential. This can be done in several ways. Through deep breathing, journaling, or simply sitting quietly for a few minutes. The goal is to ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? And what triggered this feeling? It's important to note that self-awareness doesn't mean judging yourself for your emotions. It's about accepting that you feel the way you do without trying to push it away or deny it. Only then can you begin to understand the root causes of your emotions. For example, let's say you feel an overwhelming sense of frustration in the middle of your day. Instead of pushing through it or trying to ignore it, you pause and reflect on what might have caused it. Was it a difficult conversation with a colleague? Did something unexpected happen that upset your plans? By identifying the source of your frustration, you can take steps to address it. Maybe you need to communicate your feelings to that colleague, or perhaps you need to adjust your expectations for the day. The key is that by becoming aware of your emotions and their triggers, you can respond with intention rather than reacting impulsively. Self-awareness also involves recognizing patterns in your behavior. Over time, you might notice that you tend to get frustrated when things don't go as planned, or perhaps you feel anxious when faced with uncertainty. Identifying these recurring patterns helps you understand your default responses. Once you recognize these patterns, you can take proactive steps to shift your responses. For example, if you know that uncertainty causes anxiety, you can start practicing mindfulness techniques to stay grounded in those moments, instead of letting anxiety take over. Another crucial aspect of self-awareness is understanding your thought patterns. Our thoughts are closely tied to our emotions. If you're constantly thinking negative thoughts or catastrophizing about potential outcomes, it's no surprise that you feel stressed or upset. But if you practice self-awareness, you can start to observe those thoughts as they arise. When you recognize that a negative thought is spiraling, you can choose to challenge it, reframe it, or simply let it go. This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings, but rather acknowledging that your thoughts don't have to dictate your emotional reality. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," you can catch that thought and ask yourself, "Is this really true?" Most likely, you'll realize that it's not. By interrupting these negative thought patterns, you can shift your mindset and reduce the emotional intensity of those thoughts. The more you practice this, the more you'll notice how much power your thoughts have over your emotions and behaviors, and the more control you'll feel over them. In addition to improving your emotional responses, self-awareness also enhances your relationships. When you understand your own feelings, you can communicate more effectively with others. You become more empathetic, as you are able to understand and respect the emotions of those around you. Self-awareness allows you to be present with others, listen deeply, and respond in a way that fosters connection rather than defensiveness or miscommunication. The beauty of self-awareness is that it's an ongoing practice. It's not something you achieve once and forget about. Every day offers an opportunity to deepen your understanding of yourself. Through regular self-reflection, mindfulness, and emotional check-ins, you can stay grounded and calm, no matter what life presents. Over time, you'll find that the more you understand yourself, the better equipped you are to stay positive, no matter the circumstances. Mindfulness is one of the most transformative practices for maintaining calm and positivity in life. In our fast-pacing modern world, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the constant noise, whether it's external distractions or our own racing thoughts. Mindfulness helps us break free from this cycle, teaching us to live in the present moment and to fully engage with what is happening around us. It's about focusing our attention on the here and now without judgment or distraction, and it's a practice that can significantly reduce stress and anxiety. At its core, mindfulness is the art of being fully present in whatever you are doing, whether it's a simple task like washing the dishes or a more complex activity like having a conversation or working on a project. It's about tuning into your senses, noticing the sights, sounds, smells, and even the emotions that arise in the moment without being swept away by them. This practice helps to quiet the mind and center your thoughts, allowing you to experience life more deeply and meaningfully. One of the most significant benefits of mindfulness is that it helps us break free from the cycle of constant worry about the future or regret about the past. Often we spend much of our time either anticipating what might happen tomorrow or replaying events that have already occurred. Both of these tendencies can lead to unnecessary stress and anxiety. When we focus on the present, we stop wasting energy on things that are out of our control. Mindfulness allows us to step out of this mental trap and embrace the moment as it is, without judgment or expectation. For instance, think about a time when you were worried about something that might happen in the future, whether it was a presentation, a difficult conversation, or a big decision. In that moment, your mind might have raced with what-ifs and imagined worst-case scenarios. This pattern of thinking only adds to stress and anxiety. But when you practice mindfulness, you become aware of these thoughts and are able to consciously let them go. You realize that the future hasn't happened yet, and worrying about it serves no purpose. Instead, you bring your attention back to the present moment, focusing on what's actually happening right in front of you. Mindfulness also helps us cultivate a greater sense of acceptance. When we face challenges, it's easy to resist or judge the situation, wishing things were different. However, mindfulness teaches us to accept things as they are, without adding layers of negative emotion. This doesn't mean giving up or resigning ourselves to difficult situations. It means embracing what is happening and approaching it with a mindset of curiosity and openness. By accepting the present moment, we reduce the mental struggle that comes with resistance, allowing us to move through difficult times with greater ease. One effective way to practice mindfulness is through mindful breathing. This is a simple but powerful technique where you focus on your breath, paying attention to the sensation of air entering and leaving your body. When your mind begins to wander, as it naturally does, you gently bring your attention back to your breath without judgment. This practice can help you center yourself in moments of stress, providing a calming effect that helps reduce anxiety and quiet the mind. Another way to practice mindfulness is through body scanning. This involves directing your attention to each part of your body, from head to toe, and noticing any areas of tension or discomfort. As you focus on each part of your body, you learn to become more aware of physical sensations and how your body responds to stress. By acknowledging any tension and consciously relaxing those areas, you can release the physical manifestations of stress and improve your overall sense of calm. Mindfulness also enhances emotional regulation. Often our emotions can be overwhelming and we react impulsively to them. Whether it's frustration, sadness, or anger, these emotions can cloud our judgment and lead to reactive behavior. However, mindfulness encourages us to observe our emotions from a place of detachment. Instead of being consumed by them, we acknowledge them without letting them control us. From his research on the benefits of mindfulness, Steve Diaz found that a mindful experience encourages us to observe our emotions from a place of detachment. Instead of being consumed by them, we acknowledge them without letting them control us. By doing so, we create space between our emotions and our reactions, allowing us to choose how we respond. A simple yet profound practice of mindfulness is to bring it into everyday activities. For example, when you're eating, instead of rushing through the meal or scrolling through your phone, take a few moments to truly savor the food. Notice the texture, the flavors, and the experience of eating. This simple act of presence can turn even the most mundane moments into opportunities for mindfulness. Whether you're walking, driving, or even doing household chores, these everyday tasks become rich with potential for mindfulness practice. Over time, practicing mindfulness helps us develop a deeper connection to ourselves and the world around us. It teaches us to be less reactive and more intentional in our actions, fostering a greater sense of inner peace. The more we practice mindfulness, the more we realize that our thoughts and feelings are not permanent. They come and go. When we stop identifying with them and start observing them, we begin to see how much control we actually have over our emotional state. In conclusion, mindfulness is a powerful tool for staying calm and positive. By being present in the moment, accepting things as they are, and developing a non-judgmental awareness of our thoughts and feelings, we can navigate life with greater ease and resilience. It is a practice that, when cultivated, transforms not only how we respond to stress, but how we experience life itself. 1. Mindfulness allows us to stop running from the present moment and start embracing it fully, leading to a more peaceful, positive, and fulfilling life. Having a positive mindset is an essential part of staying calm and centered, especially in a world full of uncertainty and challenges. The way we think shapes how we experience life. Our thoughts dictate our emotional responses, and those emotions influence our actions. When we choose to focus on positive thinking, we are essentially setting the foundation for a life of resilience, growth, and inner peace. A positive mindset doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties that arise in life, but rather choosing to view those challenges from a perspective that promotes hope, motivation, and forward movement. One of the most powerful aspects of a positive mindset is its ability to reframe negative situations. Life is full of unexpected obstacles, setbacks at work, health issues, strained relationships, or financial difficulties. It's easy to get caught in the trap of negative thinking where we feel overwhelmed and helpless. But a positive mindset allows us to view these setbacks as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable barriers. Finally, number 4, it helps us ask questions like, what can I learn from this? Or, how can I grow stronger as a result of this challenge? By shifting our focus from the problem to the potential solution or lesson, we can remain calm in the face of adversity. For example, if you lose a job, it's natural to feel disappointed or anxious about the future. However, instead of staying stuck in negative emotions or obsessing over what went wrong, a positive mindset encourages you to reframe the situation. You might ask yourself, what new opportunities could this open up for me? Or, how can I use this time to develop new skills or explore a different career path? This shift in thinking doesn't minimize the pain of the situation, but empowers you to see it as part of a larger journey. With this mindset, you are more likely to take proactive steps toward finding a new job or creating a new opportunity for yourself. Having a positive mindset also involves practicing gratitude, which is one of the most effective tools for cultivating positivity. Gratitude is the practice of focusing on what you have rather than what you lack. It encourages us to appreciate the small joys in life, from a warm cup of coffee in the morning to the support of loved ones. When you regularly acknowledge the things you are grateful for, it becomes easier to stay grounded and calm, even in difficult times. Gratitude helps to rewire the brain, shifting our focus away from negativity and fostering a sense of abundance and contentment. When challenges arise, instead of focusing on what's going wrong, a positive mindset encourages you to pause and reflect on what is still going right. It allows you to identify the things that bring you comfort and joy, no matter how small they may seem. Whether it's the beauty of nature, the kindness of a friend, or simply having a moment of peace, these are the moments that keep us centered and help us navigate tough situations with a sense of calm. Another aspect of cultivating a positive mindset is the power of self-compassion. Often, when things don't go according to plan, we can be our own harshest critics. We might blame ourselves for mistakes, dwell on our shortcomings, or feel guilty for not doing better. But self-compassion involves treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer to a friend. Instead of berating ourselves, we acknowledge our imperfections and give ourselves permission to be human. Sometimes it's easy to see that the problem of self-compassion has more to do. This mindset encourages resilience because we stop seeing failure as something to fear, but as part of the learning and growth process. By practicing self-compassion, we can maintain a sense of calm even in the face of setbacks. We allow ourselves to make mistakes without letting those mistakes define us. Instead of dwelling on our failures, we focus on how we can improve moving forward. This mindset shift is crucial for maintaining inner peace, as it helps us build a healthy relationship with ourselves and reduces the negative self-talk that often accompanies stressful situations. A positive mindset also encourages us to embrace optimism. Optimism is the belief that, no matter the challenges, things will eventually get better. It's the understanding that life ebbs and flows, and even in difficult times there is hope for a brighter future. Optimism doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties we face, but rather trusting that we have the strength to overcome them, and that better days are ahead. This kind of thinking helps to reduce feelings of helplessness and anxiety, giving us the mental and emotional energy to keep moving forward. For example, during tough times, optimistic individuals often look for the silver lining in every situation. If someone is dealing with a difficult personal issue, optimism helps them hold on to the belief that resolution or healing is possible. Optimism encourages us to focus on what we can control, and to trust that with time and effort, things will improve. This sense of hope is a crucial aspect of maintaining a calm, positive mindset in the face of life's challenges. Finally, a positive mindset fosters resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, and it's a mindset that comes from viewing life's challenges as opportunities rather than threats. People who have developed a positive mindset are better equipped to handle stress because they have a deep belief in their ability to cope with whatever life throws their way. They don't let temporary setbacks define them. Instead, they view them as part of their journey, knowing that each challenge provides them with valuable lessons that help them grow stronger. Finally, in conclusion, cultivating a positive mindset is essential for staying calm and centered in life. By reframing challenges, practicing gratitude, being self-compassionate, embracing optimism, and fostering resilience, we can approach life with a sense of peace and confidence, no matter what comes our way. A positive mindset is not about denying the reality of life's difficulties, but about choosing how we respond to them. It is about harnessing the power of our thoughts to create a reality that fosters growth, calm, and positivity. With a positive mindset, we can face life's challenges with grace and remain calm and centered through even the most turbulent of times. One of the most crucial factors in maintaining calm and positivity in life is building emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is the ability to cope with, adapt to, and recover from challenging or stressful situations. It allows us to stay calm in the face of adversity and continue moving forward, even when life throws obstacles our way. It is a strategy that will enable. Developing emotional resilience does not mean that we won't experience difficult emotions, but rather, it helps us manage those emotions effectively and learn from them without letting them take control of our lives. At its core, emotional resilience is about how we handle stress, disappointment, and hardship. Life is filled with ups and downs. Whether it's dealing with loss, experiencing failure, or facing personal or professional challenges. The key to emotional resilience is not avoiding or suppressing negative emotions, but learning to respond to them in a constructive way. When we develop this skill, we can experience difficult emotions without being consumed by them, allowing us to maintain inner peace and perspective. A key aspect of building emotional resilience is self-awareness. Self-awareness involves recognizing and understanding our emotions as they arise. This awareness allows us to pause before reacting impulsively to a stressful situation. Instead of allowing frustration or anger to dictate our actions, we become more mindful of how we feel and why we feel that way. By acknowledging our emotions without judgment, we can create space between the emotion itself and our response to it. This pause enables us to choose a healthier, more balanced reaction, rather than being swept away by the intensity of the moment. For instance, if we find ourselves feeling overwhelmed by a stressful work deadline, emotional resilience allows us to step back and assess the situation before we react. We might take a few deep breaths, acknowledge our stress, and then calmly think about the next steps. This ability to pause and reflect can prevent us from reacting impulsively, whether through frustration, anxiety, or overwhelm, and instead help us approach the situation with clarity and a sense of control. Another important aspect of emotional resilience is cultivating a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that we can improve and learn from every experience, no matter how difficult. It encourages us to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than as insurmountable barriers. People with a growth mindset don't see failure as a permanent setback, but as a part of the learning process. They understand that mistakes and setbacks are natural, and they are better able to bounce back and continue on their path. For example, someone who faces a setback, such as not achieving a goal or making a mistake, will view it as an opportunity to learn and grow, rather than as a sign of personal inadequacy. With a growth mindset, we are less likely to get discouraged by challenges and more likely to use them as stepping stones to success. This mindset allows us to maintain a sense of calm even when things don't go according to plan, because we see setbacks as temporary and part of a larger journey of personal development. Another important factor in emotional resilience is social support. Having a strong network of friends, family, or mentors can provide us with the emotional strength we need during tough times. Social support offers both practical assistance and emotional comfort, helping us feel understood and less alone in our struggles. Talking to someone we trust can help us process our emotions and gain perspective on difficult situations. Sometimes just knowing that someone is there to listen can help alleviate stress and restore a sense of calm.